Okay, I think I'm live now. It was, for whatever reason, it was acting crazy. If you could press F in chat if you hear the music, that would be help me out. All right. I'm still not. I still haven't. There we go. All right. So I don't know if you heard what I was talking before. I don't think you were, but let's talk about it. Truth and reconciliation. What does that mean? Well, if you really want to know the historical part of it, that is a very scary thing. A thumping. Okay. Who's this crazy guy? I don't know. All right. Truth and reconciliation. Oh, by the way, this is another test stream. I just didn't call it because I added that music to the scenes on OBS. So some of you may not know what that is. Some of you do. If you do, all right. So this is from Drew Holden. This is a tweet from November 7th. It says, with Biden having been declared the winner for now by major media outlets, I figured it would be a good time to share some of these people who've threatened retribution against Trump supporters. The list is a lot longer than I had anticipated it would be. So ask yourself, what is retribution? Well, it's a fancy word of saying getting revenge on someone who may have wronged you in the past. So that's what this is. The far left wants retribution against you because you happen to support the Orange Man or Donald Trump, or better, what I'd like to say is President Donald Trump. So there's that. So you got to ask yourself, what are they mad about? They spent the last 4 years saying that you were racist, sexist, homophobe, and Donald Trump is not my president. Okay, great. He's not your president. Yeah, he was, actually. Regardless, even if I don't like Joe Biden, he's the president of the United States. I guess I'm on the same fence as they are. He's not my president because I didn't vote for him, but he is the president of the United States. And by default, I guess he'd be my president. I don't like it. What am I going to do? So let's go to this tweet right here, his second one. He goes, it wouldn't be right to start with anyone but Robert Reich, who I'll remind you was Secretary of Labor under Bill Clinton, and he is here calling for the extra-legal prosecution of his political opponents as part of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And then he says, when this nightmare is over, we need a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It would erase Trump's lies, comfort those who've been harmed by his hatefulness, and name every official, politician, executive, and media mogul whose greed and cowardice enabled this catastrophe. Did the Republicans or anybody else want a Truth and Reconciliation Commission after Obama's disaster 8 years in office? No. We said, well, we voted for Donald Trump. Was there one after Bill Clinton? No. Was there one after George Bush? No. What is different about this? I don't know. But we'll soon find out. Next one. You would think such an idea was roundly refuted, just one blue check mark going off to the reservation. You would be wrong. Here's MSNBC's and everyone's lovable androgynous person, Chris Hayes, one of the key voices of one of the largest networks, echoing the same sentiment. The most humane and reasonable way to deal with all these people, if we survive, this is some kind of Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Oh, okay. That's nice. Then you've got to ask yourself, what would that Truth and Reconciliation Commission look like? And from now on, we'll call it the TRC to get everything more streamlined here. What would that look like? I don't know. And would we have to be flogged in the town square, tar and feathered? So I can't get employment if I supported Orange Man Bad? Is that the deal now? It seems pretty, I don't know, kind of Red Guard, Mao China, Great Leap Forward. You don't have a name anymore. They put a number on you and they work you to death. 80 million people died in China during that time. Is that what they want? Let's go forward with that a little further. Is that what they want? Yes, in my opinion. Because the far left is in fact socialism and communism. You really think that these people are going to stop right there? Oh, we just want to have a TRC, and to make sure that we all get on the same page about Orange Man Bad. Okay. Continuing on here. The list goes on. There are plenty of blue check marks throwing this idea around. Here we have Jay Vagel and Trey Graham bookmarking this for the 2021 TRC. Judge orders Postal Service to continue sweeping for mail-in ballots. Okay. But here's the thing, Jeffrey Vagel. Do you really think that the 71 plus Trump supporters out there, dare I say, are just going to allow you to put us before some sort of TRC without any some sort of pushback, if you will? Healing the nation will not come from choosing to put this behind us or to move on or to not look back. Healing the nation will come from justice being served. And here it comes, boys and girls. TRC proceedings and the tribunals for Trump administration officials who won't participate are found to have lied. Well, whose truth are you talking about? Muy interesante. Next one. I need all you to take a moment and appreciate how utterly bat poop this is, from Steve Schmidt, SES, whoever that is. It is essential to understand what we are watching. Joseph Robinette Biden of Delaware has been elected president of the United States. Not yet, chuckled nuts. American democracy is under attack by the defeated president. Not yet, chuckle nuts. He is not acting alone. He is supported in his attack. Okay. By his White House and campaign staff. He's also supported by several law firms. All of these people are complicit in the assault against American democracy. Hey, dipshit. We are not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic, or if you want to get really technical, a representative republic. Dare I say, I have to tell you, with all your acumen, your learned ability that you've so far displayed by not drooling on your goddamn keyboard. All of them should pay a brutal price for betraying the American ideal? Wait a minute. What brutal price are you talking about? Because if you take that brutality far enough, well, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and saying you're talking about, I don't know, incarceration, imprisonment, work camps. Sounds pretty bad there, Steve Schmidt. I wonder who your employer is. Maybe they should know what you're saying, that you want death and destruction brought against your political adversaries. That seems pretty bad, doesn't it? And from everyone's favorite True Lies actress, at least we all know what hats they'll be wearing when you start rounding up folks. Thanks to Jamie Lee Curtis. No need to read that right there. They're doubling down on this perspective today, which is comforting. Here's Quincy. Again, a TRC would be highly useful. Russia is at war with us, and a cohort of Americans think that isn't true because their skin is white. Really? Isn't it funny that for the last 4 frickin' years, the filthy goddamn Democrats and liberals kept saying, Russian interference. Trump's not the president. Russian interference. Now they're saying, oh, don't worry about the election. There was no Russian interference. Oh, so there's no Russian interference when your candidate technically wins, but when your candidate you don't want to win, there's Russian interference. Ah, I got it. We had a lot of think pieces on the subject. Here we have in the SETI, whatever, I don't. We need a TRC process for the Trump era. When the post-Trump moment comes, there will be a temptation to turn the page. Instead, we need deep reflection. Oh, you mean people put into re-education camps because they didn't hold the right political ideology? Ah, I get it. We had the sentiment here from Ellie, New York Times, or New York City, from The Nation. We're going to need a TRC to recover from Trump. Oh, isn't that comforting? Perhaps my favorite think piece comes from Will Bunch for the Philly Inquirer. Just normal stuff from a major publication to run. What brings U.S. together in 21? Trump in jail? A truth commission? Or something else? I Will Bunch newsletter. Oh, thank you, Will Bunch. I'm kind of glad you're out there telling me that, hey, I need to be put into a re-education camp because I didn't espouse the correct political ideology like you there, Will Bunch. Bunch of crap. Continuing on. It surprises me precisely 0% of that salon would give a voice to this perspective. Historian David Perry. Oh, great. Destroying the noble institution of an historian. Great. After Trump, we'll need a TRC. We don't yet know the truth about the damage done, says David Perry. Undoing it will be a long-term process. Oh, great. Great. This is good. Yeah, I like this. A truth commission. Oh. And you see, the people that support these a-holes will fall in line behind these a-holes. Because liberals, for the most part, are quislings. They follow along. So if some newspaper or some shining light or some Hollywood halfwit says, we need a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to punish those who do not have the same ideals we have, they'll follow along and go, yeah, we need it. Who's going to stand up to this? I'll stand up to it if it comes to that point. Will you stand up for it? Or you stand up for it? I hope so. Let's see if the chat's working again. Oh boy. At SBG1, we had a conversation with, I poop you not, A. Vindman. Suggesting the same thing. And if you thought retired Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman wasn't a complete and utter douchebag, now the mask is off. Well, you can't have the mask off because we have a mask mandate by Joseph Robinette Biden, that freaking goddamn potato. Really enjoyed the conversation with at Alex Vindman on Trump, the need for a TRC, and why he's worried about retribution in a Trump second term. Are you goddamn kidding me? He's worried about retribution, but he's calling for a TRC on people that don't agree with them. Holy goddamn crap. Whoa. Yeah, Mr. Felgen, that will be fun. No, it won't. And it keeps going, folks. Boys and girls, men and women out there, or whatever gender you profess to be. It keeps going. These people want this. And I guarantee it, as the day is long, that Joseph Robinette Biden, that fucking potato, will fucking do this. The latest suggestion was keeping of a list for anyone who supported the president. Oh, great. We need lists now. Let me write that in the chat. We need lists. And from the tweet from everyone's complete and unadulterated complete douchebag, idiot, AOC. Is anyone archiving these Trump sycophants? Oh. For when they try to downplay or deny their complicity in the future? I foresee decent probability of many deleted tweets, writings, photos in the future. Boys and girls, men and women out there, if you don't believe the Democrats and the far left and liberals are not your enemies, then I could sell you a bridge over the River Kwai. I don't know. This is stupid. Can you believe this crap? Ugh. This is pissing me off here. And she wasn't alone in her demands. Of course, the Never Trumper crew piled on for this one. Here we've got at Jennifer Rubin blogger and Evan McMullen. My supporting the latter is a stain I will never be able to wash off. Any Republican now reporting rejection of an election or calling it not to follow the will of the voters or making baseless... Oh, Jennifer goddamn Rubin, you spent the last 4 fucking years doing the same thing in this fucking tweet right now that you're saying, oh, you weren't respecting the will of the voters in 2016. Now you're going to say, oh, how goddamn dare you not respect the will of the... Oh, you frickin' twat. Oh, you've got some balls on you, lady. Evan McMullen, everyone's favorite faux libertarian. We should keep and publish a list of everyone who assists Trump's frivolous and dangerous attacks on the election. Name and shame forever. Oh, isn't that breaking Twitter's terms of service? Yeah, but Jack Dorsey's a piece of shit, so he's not going to do anything about it. Obligatory from Kurt Eichenwald mention. Of course, Kurt Eichenwald would say some shit like that. Thankfully for all of them, there's already one in the works. We had a Trump Accountability Project led by Harry whatever. Nothing says healthy democracy, or not a democracy, like now that we've won, who has the list of our enemies handy, right, Harry? You better believe it. We just launched a Trump Accountability Project to make sure anyone who took a paycheck to help Trump undermine America is held responsible for what they did. Oh, great. How about this? Kiss my ass, Harry. And a shout out or a blind push out to Caitlin Collins, everyone's favorite wear a mask, but doesn't wear a mask, White House reporter. Just reported White House staff are starting to look for jobs. Good. Employers considering them should know there are consequences for hiring anyone who helped Trump attack American values. Oh, well, what American values are there? Harry. Man, this guy's got them for days. There's apparently a bunch of blue check marks involved in this one. Here's M.B. Simon replying to AOC in very normal, totally not threatening at all fashion. Yes, we are. The Trump Accountability Project. Every administration staffer, campaign staffer, bundler, lawyer who represented them, everyone. Oh, great. So when they line you up against the wall, so you have the list to make sure who you're about to, put down, apparently. Screw you. How about that? At the end of the day, I can't imagine these folks will be shipping conservatives off to the gulags in a divided government, much as they would like to. But it fundamentally cuts against the spirit of America to suggest someone should be punished for their political views. Exactly. You see, as much as I despise, detest, and loathe anybody left of Pol Pot, Stalin, and Lenin, I don't want to put them in a cage for the political views. I just want everyone to know that they have those political views. I don't want someone to lose their job because they're a goddamn leftist. But if this is their modus operandi continuing on into the future, I might have to change my opinion. I might have to change my point of view. I might have to change my reaction to what they want to do to someone like me who supports the president, albeit from afar. But I'm going to be punished for that? What happens if Biden loses in 2024? Are we going to have Truth and Reconciliation Commissions for Joseph Robinette Biden and cackling Camel Toe Harris? Huh. Interessante. You see, I don't think they would like that if it was put on them. Would it now? Remember Rwanda? Here comes this tweet. We are not some post-genocide society. The suggestion that we need a Rwandan-style Truth and Reconciliation Commission is preposterous. And free societies don't develop political hit lists. The champagne fascism from the left needs to stop. Now would be a good time. Isn't that funny? Champagne fascism. That says it all right there, folks. Champagne fascism. What does that mean? Well, simply put, it means the far left, the people that are in the high levels of academia, government, entertainment, who are pushing this bullshit out. Trying to take down people because they have the wrong opinion. That's what we're going to do? That's what you're going to lead with continuing on from now on? And by the way, dare I mention, we still have the First Amendment. So you're allowed to say something like that, even if it is stupid AF. However, you TRC proponents, do you really fucking think that I'm just going to sit by and let some jackbooted fucking thug take me in front of one of those TRCs? You really think I won't have something to say about that? Oh, I will have something to say about it. At first, boys and girls, men and women, I will be peaceful until I'm not. Anyways, congrats to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for their victory, at least until we hear on appeals. Perhaps once the champagne has finished flowing, it would behoove of both of you to think about why your victory gives even some people who weren't wild about Trump real pause. And if you've read this far, probably you don't need to hear it from me. But you don't need to be excited or celebratory about an electoral victory for someone whose supporters want to punish you for thought crimes. And Noble Savage has got something to say. I'll give him my information. Crowds of people outside my house won't be received like they are in Portland. Exactly, Mr. Savage. Exactly. The thing is that the people in Portland, the lovable idiots they are, they allow this crap to happen. Why? Because they don't want to piss off a population in that city that is patchouli stink, doesn't wear deodorant half the time, wears all black, and has Kool-Aid hair. So they know that they can't get with those guys. Exactly. Exactly. So they know for a fact that they can't stop those idiots in and around Portland or even all of Oregon. The funny demographics about Portland and Oregon is the farther east you go, the more people have ways of defending themselves that those Antifa idiots aren't really used to when people respond to them in a negative fashion. You take that as much as you want. This eventually just going to be a thread at Chris Hayes saying that we need to catalog and punish Republicans. From androgynous Chris Hayes, I'm never going to forget this. And there are thousands and thousands of just normal Republican staffers who are complicit. Oh, okay. They're all worked together on a project that just led our people to be led to the slaughter. Who the hell's slaughtering? There's no one being slaughtered. For months and months. Dying alone with no one around, day after day. Oh, you mean when Governor Cuomo put the elderly with COVID back in nursing homes and wiped out en masse the elderly in New York State, and then wrote a book about, oh, here's how you prepare for COVID response, but, dare I say, never mentioned what he did to the elderly. Let that sink in. And it was only a matter of time until, I hate this frickin' dude, Joel Lockhart, checked in on this one. This is not meant to be mean. Yes, it is. Or vindictive. It is. But the people around at Real Donald Trump who have enabled him to bring our democracy to the brink have to be held responsible for what they've done. Oh, okay. What do you mean? They can't be rewarded for what they have done. Oh, okay. What do you mean? And notice up there at the top, George Conway, give a like to that? This has since been deleted, but 0% surprising that Don Winslow finds himself on the list. Here's my 2021 New Year's resolution list. Nobody gets off that helped Trump. Nobody. Oh, okay. That seems pretty cool. So let me get this straight, Don Winslow. Of course you deleted the tweet, so you didn't mean... Oh, yeah, of course you meant it. So what do you mean by nobody gets off? Are you going to come to my house? Are you going to arrest me extrajudicially? Is that what you're going to do? I dare you. I double goddamn dare you, Don Wilson. Frickin' do it. If you have any balls hanging from the middle of your legs, or that Tootsie Roll you call a penis, come to my house. I double goddamn dare you, motherfucker. I fucking dare you. You won't, because you're a fucking coward. Piece of shit. It was only a matter of time before the grifters at the Lincoln Project got involved in this one. And this is where their account got suspended today. Here are the two attorneys attempting to help Trump overturn the will of the Pennsylvanian people. Interesting. You see, Mr. Savage, I kind of disagree with you. They know exactly about the history of socialism and communism. But here's the thing that they don't really realize. Those useful idiots are the first ones to lose their life. Because when the powers that be push socialism to its ultimate end, where they come into power, they can't trust those people that actually got them there. That's why they're called useful idiots. They get the guillotine first. Of course they know. Nothing says unity like treating the other party like an active threat to democracy to hear Wajah Ali tell it. You can't heel reform the GOP, who are now an extremist party. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know I was an extremist. Hey, boys and girls out there in YouTube land, I didn't know I was an extremist. I just thought I had a different political perspective than this knuckle nuts here. Well, apparently I have to go to the guillotine. They have to be broken, burned down, and rebuilt. Oh! Boys and girls right there? Boys and girls, that is what a re-education camp is all about. They break you down. They break you first, burn you down, and then rebuild you in their, and they mold you into their heart's desire, kind of like the Fabian socialists. When Biden is in power, treat them like an active threat to democracy they are. If those who committed crimes aren't punished, then they will be more emboldened. Oh, there, Mr. Washat. Really? Really? Again, I'll give you the same message I gave to the Wilson fucknuts up there. You want to take me to your education camp? Then bring your happy ass to my fucking house. I goddamn dare you. Oh, I dare you. Oh, I dare you. Get an angry mob outside my house. Oh, just do it. 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 Yeah, the hardcore are the Fabian socialists. They're the ones who are pushing for stuff like this. But you see, the Fabian socialists sort of keep it low key, but there's a stained glass mural, I think. Just type in Fabian socialist, molding the world into your heart's desire, something like that. You'll see what I'm talking about. And then Drew Holden basically says, ID your enemies, put them in a handy list, distribute the list to allies, punish people for crimes real and more likely imagined. Exactly. Why? This is interesting because, but look, all right. Let me compose myself here. Let's say they do get some sort of TRC enacted or pushed through. And it doesn't really go anywhere, and it pisses a lot of people off. I'm talking about pissing many people off. All you have to do is piss off about 5% of the 70 million plus people that voted for Donald Trump. 5% of 70 million, if my math is correctly, is about 3.5 million. All right? Let's say you have 3.5 million people that are pissed off that you set up some TRC condemning their First Amendment protected activities. And Biden loses in 2024. And guess what, boys and girls? The right side of the political spectrum wants to set up a TRC for your crimes against them. Do you see where this is going to go? Exactly. 1% of 70 million is 700,000. That's one of the biggest military, probably the second biggest military in the world. So if you take this out to its logical conclusion, if you push people so far, bring them against a panel of people, put them in education camps, you piss off people that are legally allowed to own as per the Second Amendment and violate their First Amendment, and you lose in 2024, you're goddamn fucked. Why do this? Because you think you're going to win in 2024 with this attitude? Let's say you do win in 2024. Do you really fucking think that normal red-blooded Americans that have no bone to pick with anyone, that just voted because they decided, hey, I like Donald Trump, I want to vote for him, and then you condemn them for that? And you try to bring them against a TRC? You really think they're just going to sit by and sort of just allow themselves to be punished and ridiculed by you? You're fucking insane. You're insane. You can't push people. You can only push people so far. You just can't. And the majority of the Americans don't know these morons, these mental midgets are talking about this. So this is the reaction when they won. And then in one breath, they're saying we need to be unified and heal the country together, and we need to bring the whole country together so we can move forward. But Exhale, you're saying we need a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to punish Trump supporters? Mr. Savage, I was checking at Lowe's and there was a round robin of pro-Trump people angry as hell, including the cashier. Yeah. Because whether you like it or not, whether you believe the election was legitimate or not, there's 70 million people that possibly think the election was being stolen as we speak. And you want to bring out a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to punish your political enemies? You're goddamn insane. You want to push a normal American to go insane? Just as some normal American or a group of Americans. I think that's a bad idea. That is not something you want to hang your hat on. I'm actually going back. I'm actually moving. I live here in Ecuador. I'm actually moving back to the United States sometime in December. I'm actually not looking forward to it. I would rather stay here another 3 years and kind of watch my country burn itself out. But I'm coming back. And I don't know. I don't know what to think. It's I've kind of already said this, that I am not going to help or support if Biden does somehow pull this out and the court cases go south, which I think they will. I just won't support the president. Yeah, he'll be the president of the United States. He'll be technically my president, but he's not the one I voted for. If that makes sense. Yes, Mr. Savage, I am moving to the South. Not going to tell what state, but I'm moving to the South. Yeah, exactly. My home of record is Florida, but it's not Florida. It's in and around the South. Let's put it that way. It's a red state, I think, for the time being. But yeah, I've already said that I'm not gonna help. And this is like not very Christian of me, I guess. I guess I'm not a good Christian, but I said I am not gonna help my neighbor. If I see my neighbor, he's got a Biden Harris sticker on his car, and he's got his hood is up, and he's struggling with something, I'm not gonna help him. And I think it's childish, perhaps, I guess, but I'm just not going to help them. Because they've already proved to me that they're stupid. That they're not intelligent. That they're lacking in some sort of capacity. That they voted for a goddamn potato to run the country. I'm just not going to support him. Yeah, so Savage, you said there's only one way for the Patriots to hurt the Democrats, and is that to prevent their kids from joining the military. Believe it or not, there are Democrats in the military, like in the lower ranks. Not many, but there are. And yeah, you're right. And that's the thing, is most of the problems when I was in the military, and I had like soldiers that I had to train, etc. Most of my problems were with soldiers that were, which I thought they were Democrats. So, and that is the thing too. The Trump administration didn't start a new war for 4 years. Can you think back on another president that didn't start a war? Or join a war, if you will? Perhaps it was Jimmy Carter. Going further back, perhaps it was Coolidge? Maybe? I don't know. I got to figure out when the last time we invaded the Dominican Republic and left Marines there. I don't remember what it was, but yeah. You would think that would be a selling point. Hey, guess what? We haven't gone to war in 4 years. We're starting a new one. Yay, that's freaking awesome. No. I want a goddamn potato to run the country. No. He didn't sell me. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Is this where we're at? I'm gonna vote for a fucking potato. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna vote for a guy that has obvious dementia, because Jesus. Reagan's era was not necessarily peaceful. We did bomb Libya one time and killed, I think, Gaddafi's son or something like that. There was a few things we got involved. Iran-Contra. Let's see. Iran-Contra. There's a few... Grenada. There was a few things we got involved in. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have gone into Grenada. We obviously should. Because Cuba was trying to... Yeah, Hamilton Harris will be president in the next six months to a year and a half. Because Biden, I saw this with my grandmother as she was declining when she had got dementia and Alzheimer's. This is exactly what she'd do. She would mumble shit. You know, she was good in the morning, but later in the day, you just couldn't understand her. And yeah, it was. You're right, Mr. Savage. It was mostly air bombings, and there was some things, but yeah, Reagan's era was peaceful. I'm not gonna be like a Monday morning quarterback and kind of go, oh, Reagan sucked because he did this and that. No, Reagan was cool. I grew up. I was in my early single digits into my teenage years. I think he was fine. I didn't have a problem with him. But not like the last 20 years, where obviously we had to go in Afghanistan. That was obvious. But it was like the Iraq thing. At first I was for it before I was against it. Because I was in the military at the time, and I'm like, yeah, screw Saddam Hussein in Iraq. Then as it went out of style and went out of proportion, and when it devolved into a freaking mess, which Iraq turned into the caliphate, So yeah, I get it. It wasn't a good thing to do, and I probably shouldn't have supported it. But you live and learn. What's the PNAC? Because I think that was like with PNAC. I think is what I know is like photography is not a crime. The guys who go out and do the First Amendment audits to police, which I support, by the way. You should go out and audit the police whenever you can with a camera. Okay. No, I just looking back, it's just, yeah, like, hey, Jana, last night I did one of these. I was talking to there's two Canadians in the chat, and I said the United States should annex Alberta because they're pretty conservative and they don't like Justin Trudeau and his bull crap. And so we're like, yeah, we should just invade Canada and just annex Saskatchewan and Alberta. I don't know. That's probably not a good idea, but I don't think Alberta would be against it. But continuing on here, kind of got off on a rant there. Let's see. As I was saying, it says from this guy, Daniel Gump, he says, it seems that many of the same people who were screeching their fascism conspiracy theories for the past 4 years are now openly clamoring for, you guessed it, fascism. NDP, what does that mean? I think that means, oh, okay. Wow, really? How is that even possible? There's a lot of Albertan rednecks out there that do not like Rachel Notley, Trudeau, and all his ilk. Damn. NDP. That sounds very French. It probably has roots from the Quebecois. Oh. Well, of course, British Columbia. British Columbia is just northern Portland. And it stinks of pot and, patchouli. I'm not against pot. I'm just saying that, there's an important, I think I want to, since I opened that can of worms, I think there's a big distinction between my opinion that, marijuana law should be just abolished and you should just allow to, smoke pot. However, I don't think you should smoke it out in public. Go to a park and just roast a bowl. I mean, that just seems like, it's like, come on, man, just do it in your home, or if you're at a party, just do it there. So why are you doing it here? I'm in a Walmart. I'm just gonna roast a bone right now. It's like, why, man? It's like, for God's sakes. Well, yeah. I don't know. Because there have been a few times where I've been in California, and my mom and I partake in some, legal activities, if you will. It may not be federally legally, but statewide it's legal, so whatever. I think you should grow, if you want to grow a whole football field full of marijuana, I think you should. Why does the government have to come in here and go, well, you're not legally allowed to do more than 6 plants? Screw that. What's the big deal? If I can grow a bell pepper, I can grow a fucking pot plant. There's no freaking big deal. It's like, what? Why does the government always have to have, be concerned about what the hell I'm doing behind, oh, you really shouldn't do that. Why? You should wear a mask. Why? Because the virus. Really? Great. What type of mask? A cloth mask. Oh, you mean the cloth mask that have Texas-sized holes and the virus is about the size of a baseball that fires right through it? That's going to help me? Go to hell. Jesus Christ. Oh. What do you know? Chuckle nuts. Oh, boy. And that's the thing. I've been using this one surgical mask for the past 3 months that's been in my car because I don't give a shit anymore. It's like, if I get it, I get it. Because the thing is, if you look at the mask efficacy of, there's so many different types of qualities. N95, you put your elbow around your mouth. What is effective? There's all these studies. Well, this egghead stated that this, and you have another study that debunks that study. Then you get a study that debunks the study that debunked the other study. So who the hell do you believe anymore? Yes. Need some gypsy tears to go with my mask to protect from AIDS. That's next. You're gonna say. So let's dive into this COVID-19 shit. I said this from the very fucking beginning. I said that this is not going away. I said this is going to be like another virus, or another, excuse me, it's going to be another virus, but it's going to be another injection you're going to have to get alongside the influenza injections you're going to get every year. And by the way, let me ask you this question for the chat. How many versions of COVID-19 have they discovered already? I've already talked about the one that they're talking about that had to kill the mink population in the Netherlands and Denmark recently. So you can put the number in chat. How many number of different COVID-19 mutations have they found? Or do you think they're not telling us they found? Let's put it that way. If I had the Jeopardy music, I'd play it, but I wouldn't because of copyright infringement. This is Savage says, took my mom to a doctor's appointment today. They were militant about mask and distance at the clinic after we went to a local diner, and not a single person had a mask on. Oh, no, Jana. No. There's about 10 that I could research There's 10 of them. Oh, yes. You see, here's a fun fact about the influenza virus. So, the normal flu virus that we get every year is a derivative from the Spanish flu of the early 1900s. So, having said that, so every year there's many different flu vaccines that are put out. There's flu vaccine 1 for, let's say, the Pacific Northwest. Then there's number 2 for the Pacific Southwest. Then there's influenza vaccine 1A2 for the upper Northwest. Then there's one for Canada, it would be like C1. Then there's one for Europe, would be like D2. And for Northern Europe would be D1. There's a crap ton of different flu vaccines that are put out every year because the scientists and the doctors think, okay, this one may be more prevalent in this area of the world. This one may be more prevalent in South America and Central America, etc., etc. I don't know the exact number, but I think it's within the upper 50s, even to the hundreds. Yeah, rip Alex Trebek. That kind of sucks. He beat pancreatic cancer, kinda. That, by the way, pancreatic cancer is like one of the worst cancers you can get. That sucker will frickin' fry you. But yeah, that's correct too. The estimate, and it depends what lab or what doctor you talk to, but the flu virus is about, the vaccine you get is about 10% to about 70% effective. Depending on what flu virus out there that they think that you're going to get and what region of the world you're going to get. Yeah, I heard about the vaccines are created by using aborted fetal tissue. I don't know if that's true. I heard that, and yeah. So, coming back full circle to COVID-19, there's, from what I've read, about 10 different strains they've caught so far. So, you got to think about it this way. So, you got one virus that affects one person. Then it mutates to 2, then to 4, then to 6, or to 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. So that's not necessarily a good metric to say, but it expands rapidly. So what I also read too is that viruses like these, they don't necessarily get worse. They can, but they usually just sort of peak out and kind of level off. And we're sort of seeing that in the numbers. We're seeing, people are dying, but those people who are dying are mostly the elderly. So the people who get it when they're younger, for instance, they have a better chance because their bodies are more healthy. And it doesn't mean that babies and the very young don't die. It's just that their numbers are under the elderly who get sick. Yeah, I'll take a look at that, Savage, because like I said, I did hear about it, but I don't want to, go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, I've heard about fetal tissue being used. I also heard about from what I understand, the flu vaccine is a dead virus. And so, right. So most people who've got upper respiratory infections get it. And then normally, in a normal year, about 80,000 people die of the normal flu a year. Those people who usually die have comorbidity. They have, cancer, diabetes type 1 and 2. They're overweight. They've got something wrong with them. Usually with people with the flu, they knock them out. They get sick for like a week and then they get better. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to go down that road of the abortion thing, but yeah, if you really think about it, like with abortion, doesn't necessarily pass the sniff test when you're talking about, you know, if you got a living entity inside you, it's a baby. Let's put it that way. And the government allows you to remove it and kill it. Dare I say, sounds like murder, doesn't it? It sounds like you're taking a living thing, removing it from another living thing in pieces, and it dies. Oh, but it's okay because the government says it's not death. Oh, okay, well, that sounds good to me. Hey, wait a minute here. That sounds like, you know, murder, but with extra steps. Yeah, but you know, that's the thing, is that I think, yes, some young bimbos, how you put it, you know, think that killing, you know, a clump of cells. But think about this. I'll give you an example where it wasn't a clump of cells. That child in a woman's womb wasn't a clump of cells. Remember Lacey Peterson, a pregnant mother, was killed by her husband. I can't remember his name. It was Jason Peterson or Paul Peterson, whatever. It happened in California about 10, 15 years ago. So Lacey Peterson was killed by her husband because he went to jail for it, so we can say that. He was charged with 2 murders. I know what you're going to say. Oh, he killed somebody else? It was, you know, him and his wife and another person? No. California, of all places, considered that clump of cells in Lacey Peterson's body a child, which in turn, Peterson went to, the husband went to jail for 2 counts of first-degree murder. So you tell me, was that clump of cells a baby? Oh, in that instance, it's a baby. But anything else, if Lacey Peterson wanted to remove that baby the day before she was killed, that'd be okay because it was just a clump of cells. But when her husband kills her, it's a double murder. Oh, okay. Makes sense, right? Exactly. And I was going to just get to that, Savage. When Chrissy Teigen miscarried, and by the way, someone took a freaking picture of her after she just miscarried. Why? Who does that? Who takes a fucking black and white picture after a traumatic event such as a miscarrying your child? Who the flying F does that? Who does that? Oh, that's right. The idiots in Hollywood. That's who does that. But yeah, so that begs the question, boys and girls. So, Mr. Peterson, who killed his wife and his unborn son, I think, that was a double murder. But if Lacey Peterson would have had an abortion the day before, and then her husband killed her, it would have been only a single murder. What? That makes 0 sense. I'm not going to say they're influenced by some sort of demonic entity, but if it walks like a duck, smells like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a duck. Just saying. Is it demonic? Hell yeah, it is. But again, no, that's cool. I'm all over the place. If you see the topic, it's Tuesday Night Live, random topics in anger. I'm not really, and that's the thing, is like, the more and more I talk about it, I'm not pissed off that Biden won. I mean, I am. I'm pissed off that the election, in my opinion, is being stolen. But I'm not like, I mean, it's like, I kind of felt the same way when Obama won. I was kind of like, whatever. Because I didn't really like John McCain. I was like, okay, whatever, he won. At the time, I was in Egypt, so I didn't really care. I'm like, I'm kind of far away from the flagpole. Don't give a crap. And I felt the same way when Mittens Romney lost against Obama again in 2012. I was like, well, shit happens. Move on. This time's it may be a little different. I'm kind of pissed, but I'm kind of like, Well, I'm in Ecuador. What the hell am I going to loot? I mean, I could, but that wouldn't make any sense. What is a linchpin for Democrats? It's about control. It's a voter block that they can extort and say, we care about reproductive health, which means it's killing babies. We care about reproductive health. And it's a cash grab. Because let's look at how Planned Parenthood sort of donates to Democrat candidates. So it's like a circle, okay? Think about this. You got Planned Parenthood, okay? They promote abortion. Democrats like abortion. So Democrats and liberals give money to Planned Parenthood. And in turn, Planned Parenthood asks the government, hey, we need some money. And the government gives them money. And then in turn, they support Democrat causes. And the Democrats give Planned Parenthood money. It's a vicious, stinking cycle. Yeah, so talking about the rigged election, apparently. Yeah, there was that glitch they're talking about, but I don't know if it's actually... Look, as much as I would love Donald Trump to be president for the next 4 more years, and I actually want him to be, I just don't think that the Supreme Court is really going to push the issue. So, yes. Planned Parenthood does a lot of crazy shit with baby parts. And it's been confirmed. Why is that legal? I don't know. It shouldn't be. If y'all know the history about Planned Parenthood, kind of interesting. So, yeah, for now, until Biden's legal team challenges the Wisconsin and possibly the Michigan one, and even Georgia and Arizona and Nevada. It's a whole mess. The real date is December 13th. That's when the electors go to elect a president. But what's my dog doing? Oh, man. The hell was I talking about? Oh, yeah. No, crap. What the hell was I talking about? Margaret Sanger. There we go. Thank you. Not Barbara. So, early in Margaret Sanger's life, she had 2 parents. Obviously. Her mom gave birth to like 12 siblings. And her mother died, I think, on her 13th pregnancy. And Margaret Sanger never forgave her father for impregnating her mom so many times, which led for her to, as she grew older, to create what is essentially called the American Birth Control League. Obviously, that American Birth Control League wasn't very popular in New York City. Well, it was popular because she set up the clinics. Guess where she set up the clinics in New York City? We'll wait for a second so someone can put in the comment section. And she actually made clinics in the South. I think it was 13 children, but it was around. It was a lot. So you in the chat, think where she set up most of her clinics, including the southern states. Let's see, what racial background, let's put it that way, did she set up these clinics in areas Brooklyn, good. Ah, Flying Falcon, in for the win. And even in today's world, most of abortion clinics are set up in mostly African American areas. Why? Because they get a lot of business, apparently. So, if you look at Margaret Sanger's writings, she was very, very, extremely racist. I'm talking about the Socialist Workers' Party of Germany in the 1930s, late 1930s, racist-ish stuff. Genocidal racism. Okay? Exactly. Harlem, South Carolina, North Carolina, all in the Deep South, where predominantly there was a lot of black Americans. Okay? She even called, and you can look this up. I will have to. Matter of fact, let's look that up right now, so I can get it correctly. Or let's see. Well, it's. Let's see. I'm not going to look at Snopes because they're lying pieces of shit. And she was a eugenist. Absolutely. Okay, here it is. The facts. Sanger and Blacks. Carson's campaign, which was Ben Carson, who was running for president, initially sent us a blog item which alleged quotes from Sanger. Colored people are like human weeds. That turned out to be unverified and false. No, they're not unverified and false. She actually said this. And starting in 1916, Sanger's clinics at first were aimed... At first, okay, this is not disputed. Sanger's clinics at first were aimed mainly at poor immigrant women. The first clinic was in a neighborhood populated largely by Italians and Eastern European Jews. And then, this is the most important thing right here. In the late 30s, Sanger began an effort to bring clinics to the rural South in what was called the Negro Project. She even got the NAACP leader, W.E. Du Bois, on board with this shit. Yes, boys and girls. It is true that she did call African Americans weeds, something that needed to be ridded of. And she also didn't really care for people who had developmental issues. Was she a Fabian? Well, let me tell you this other story about Margaret Sanger. So, Margaret Sanger got married to a fellow traveler, a lawyer in New York City that I think was a lawyer. He was a very, very far left douchebag. I think they had a falling out, and she was trying to send medical aids or contraceptives through the mail, which was a big no-no back in these days. So she decided to hop, skip, and jump over to England. So where did the Fabian Socialists mainly come from? England. That was more of a, no shit. It was more of a coincidence. But hey, who knows if that was not true or not. So, Margaret Sanger remarried to the guy who created 3-in-1 oil. I think his name is Sneed, something like that. So he got married and she got married to him, and then I forgot. It's been a while since I've actually talked about or even researched Margaret Sanger. But yeah, she was not a good person. She was ugly on the inside as she was on the outside. She was a very foul, vicious, disgusting, terrible person. And so the American Birth Control League, many years later, said, our name kind of sucks. We needed to garner a grander audience because the American Birth Control League sounds kind of like, I don't know, some sort of bowling league that you sign up for. So they changed it to Planned Parenthood. Because it's more palpable. It's more easier to digest. It sounds like you're doing something. Oh, Planned Parenthood. We're planning parenthood. We're not the American Birth Control League. We're Planned Parenthood. It was kind of like that skit from George Carlin where he was talking about during World War One, soldiers who lost their nerve and got started losing their mind and getting paranoid and for all the bomb blast. They called it shell shock, meaning that you were shocked by the shelling and constantly your nerves were shot and you couldn't take anymore. You had nightmares. Then in World War II, they called it operational exhaustion. It's kind of like, what the hell is that? And I forgot what they called it in Korea. I think it was called something. Now it's called post-traumatic distress syndrome or something like PTSD. So... Oh, Edward Bernays. Oh, that guy. Edward Bernays is an interesting MFer right there. By the way, Edward Bernays was the cousin of, you guessed it, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, from what I understand. I don't know if he was the second cousin. I know Theodore Roosevelt was FDR's second cousin. I don't know Bernays. I think he was... first cousin once removed or some crap. I don't know. But I know he was some sort of cousin. Cousin number something. So yeah, Edward Bernays created what we like to term propaganda. Propaganda. What is that? Oh, was it Freud? No. I could have swore Edward Bernays was FDR's cousin. Let me look that up. Edward Bernays. Oh, shit. Huh. Okay. Was it Freud? No way. But yeah. Okay. So let me get to if I remember correctly, was it Freud that was, or Bernays was Freud's cousin? Huh. Right. I mean, if you really think about it, propaganda goes back to the beginning of human evolution, essentially. Once you got a written language and you wanted people to do what you wanted to, you weren't really trying to convince somebody. You were just trying to hey, that tribe over there, they've been looking at us weird. And if we don't really do something, by the way, that tribe over there, they don't worship the moon like we do. Yeah, okay. So whatever the case was be, Bernays, he convinced, from what I understand, the reason why we have bacon and eggs in the morning is because he convinced the bacon and egg lobby, if that was even a case, or the pork lobby, to push, if you want a healthy and natural breakfast, you need to eat bacon and eggs in the morning. And holy crap, look what we're doing now. And then the cigarette industry, the tobacco industry, wanted more people to smoke, from what I understand. So they got, let me think. There's this famous picture of him trying to convince some sort of lobby or he was trying to advertise to women as, if you smoke, you're giving a big middle finger to the male patriarchy. You're showing that I'm a woman, I can smoke too. And so basically that sort of, but yeah, I might be off on this. I don't remember. It's just coming off the top of my head, so don't take this for like the gospel truth here. But yeah, Bernays was an interesting guy. He wasn't a good guy. Freud, I don't know. He wanted to do his mom for some fucking reason. He was a freaking weirdo. Huh. Weirdo. We could look at Bernays. I'm going to use Wikipedia, but I shouldn't, but whatever. Let's see. Crap. All right, hold on a second. I have a call. I'll be right back. So you can read this on the screen and tell me what you think. Just give me a second, boys and girls. I got some company coming to the door, so if you happen to leave, cool. If not, hang around. I'll be no more than 5 minutes. right, I'm back. I was so what I've been doing since I'm moving, I've been selling a lot of my crap that we have here, and just not I'm not taking it back, and yeah, let me check that out. I didn't know if FREU. Oh yeah, okay. This is 1920. Bernays organized a publication of Freud's introductory lecture of psychoanalysis in the U.S., sending royalty money to his uncle in Vienna. That's correct. Freud, and you guessed it, was Bernays' uncle. Freud turned down further offers of promotion, such as possible lecture. Blah blah blah. Wow, that is interesting. I don't know why I thought that Bernays was like the cousin to FDR. I don't know why. Maybe it was because of Theodore Roosevelt. That's why. What a wacky world we live in. But yeah, going back to what Savage said. So he convinced women to smoke because he says it's rebellious, like right here in tobacco. It says in 1927, Bernays worked briefly for Liggett and Myers, makers of Chesterfield cigarettes. Non-filtered. He pulled a stunt against a competing brand, Lucky Strike, which involved mocking the endorsements of opera singers who said Lucky Strikes were kind to your voice. George Washington Hill, head of the American Tobacco Company, which made Lucky Strike, promptly hired Bernays away from Liggett Myers. Says, when he started working for the American Tobacco Company, Bernays was given an objective of increasing Lucky Strike sales among women, who, for the most part, had formerly avoided smoking. First strategy was to persuade women to smoke cigarettes instead of eating. Bernays began promoting the ideal of thinness itself. Oh, imagine trying to do that crap now. Oh, shit. All shite. Using photographers, artists, newspapers, and magazines to promote the special beauty of thin women. Uh-oh. Medical authorities were found to promote the choice of cigarettes over sweets. Homemakers were cautioned that keeping cigarettes on hand was a social necessity. Imagine this now. If the same sort of messaging was put on, hey, women out there, you need to eat more vegetables so you can be thin for your husband. Oh no, stop. The Kool-Aid hairs would freak the fuck out. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Edward Bernays, man, that guy was a... That guy was something special. I'm out of rum. I'm only drinking diet soda right now. Like a sensible human being. Here we go. Green Ball. 1934, Bernays was asked to deal with women's apparent reluctance to buy Lucky Strike cigarettes because of the green and red package clashed with the standard female fashions. When Bernays suggested changing the package to a neutral color, Hill refused, saying that he already spent millions advertising the package. Bernays then worked to make green a fashionable color. This guy, wow. Yeah, he was right about bacon. Bacon's freaking awesome. Fight me. Anyways, the centerpiece of his efforts was the Green Ball, a social event at the Waldorf Astoria hosted by Narcissa Cox Vanderlip. What a stupid name. The pretext for the ball and its unnamed underwriter was the proceeds would go to charity. Famous society women would attend wearing green dresses. Manufacturers and retailers of clothing and accessories were advised of the excitement growing around the green color. Intellectuals were enlisted to give highbrow talks on the theme of green. Before the ball had been taken place, newspapers and magazines, encouraged in various ways by Bernays' office, had latched on to the idea that green was all the rage. This guy's pretty awesome. I mean, not really. Oh, even better. Do you know where the term Banana Republic came from? Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. A guy, Salmonella Academy on YouTube, he does a pretty good explanation of the Banana Republic. Yeah. So bananas became such a rich crop that the companies down there in Central America basically ran the country. They would install their own government. So that's why they call them Banana Republic. The United Fruit Company, today's Chiquita Brands International, hired Bernays in the early 40s to promoting banana sales within the United States. Promote them he did by linking bananas to good health and American interests, and by placing them strategically in the hands of celebrities in hotels and other conspicuous places. Bernays also argued that the United Fruit needed to put a positive spin on the banana-growing countries themselves, and for this purpose created a front group called Middle America Information Bureau. Oh my God, this guy's a piece of work, which supplied information to journalists and academics. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Speaking of bananas, by the way, the Cavendish banana that we see is really the only banana that is really edible right now. And I've always heard rumors and talks and by scientists and whoever decides to write for BuzzFeed and 15 ways to eat a banana underwater. Anyways, so the Cavendish banana, there's an issue of it going extinct or something like that. So I don't know if you've ever heard that. It's kind of a crazy thing to think that a whole species of banana could go out the window. Oh yeah. This is where it all comes full circle here. The media is a propaganda arm for the leftists, the socialists, the communists, for the Democrats and liberals. Even Fox News, and I am subscribed to them. I will never watch Fox News again. Never. Especially what Neil Cavuto did when Kelly McEnany was going, yes, there's election fraud, and he goes, no, Kayleigh, no. There's no evidence to suggest. Kayleigh McEnany stated without evidence that there's election fraud. Blah, 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 blah. And then Neil fucking Cavuto had the unmitigated gall to frame what she was saying. Oh, no, we can't do that. There's no evidence. Oh, really? Ah. No evidence, you say? You can't see that. No, sir, Mr. Savage. You cannot see that. Why? We didn't make it available for you to know because we tell you what the truth is. We tell you. You can't come to the truth on your own. How goddamn dare you? How daft. Fuck Fox News. Right, so throughout human evolution, so most fruits, if you go look back at how they were, like apples were like shriveled up little things, and they weren't. We as humans bred theoretically fruits to be bigger, have better taste, because the bananas, when they first came out, they were smaller and they were just filled with seeds. And and so over the course of many centuries, we've bred fruit to be edible by humans. Makes sense, right? Same thing we did with dogs. Same thing. It's like dogs were wolves. And once humans started, there's many different theories on how we domesticated the dog. We might have done it twice, according to some experts in the field. But how it usually went was like, once humans started congregating in large settlements, wolves aren't stupid animals. And so when humans would dump their trash, they obviously weren't stupid. They would dump it out far enough away so they wouldn't get rats in their community. So the wolves, being smart, they're like, hey, there's some rancid food over here. Oh, I'm going to eat that. And over the many centuries, they started getting used to humans being in contact. And it just took one dog or one wolf to actually go, hey, I'm going to hang out with these humans. And so the humans liked them because they would warn their newfound pets, wouldn't warn them when other dangerous animals would come around. And the reason they believed that is because there was this Russian blue fox experiment. I think it was a blue fox or gray fox. So what they did, they think they started in like 1950s. So they started taking these foxes and breeding them. And so the new pups that were born, they would have like a really thick gloved hand. And if that fox would bite that hand, they're okay, we're not taking that one. And then if this fox would kind of sort of get scared and kind of back up and whimper, like, okay, we'll keep an eye on him. And if they put the hand in another cage and a fox kind of goes up to him, kind of sniffs it and kind of like licks it a little bit and kind of gets a little interested, or like, we'll breed that one. So they started breeding foxes that were susceptible to, were pro-human, or had a very good reaction to humans. So they would breed a male and a female together. And they would take the fox pups out of that litter that were pro-human, let's put it that way, and they would breed them with other ones. And they kept doing that for 40 years, I think, up into the 90s. And, right, so they got the docile ones. And so a strange thing happened. They evolved that group of foxes. The foxes started to behave like dogs. They started to grow different colored hair. Some had longer hair, some had shorter hair. Their snouts started to like shrink up a little bit. They act like dogs. So they were hypothesizing that it took the early humans to domesticate the dogs like 100 years, theoretically. So it wasn't like 1,000 years for them to domesticate the wolf into a canine we see today, which is kind of cool. Yeah, and I still think, I don't know if they're still doing that experiment. I think they are, but I don't know. Last time I looked, it was like it was some sort of like Frontline special or some crap, like it's on YouTube somewhere. It was a really cool thing. They made foxes into dogs, essentially. That God, what it was? There's another. I can't remember. If you look up Finnegan Fox on YouTube, there's some woman in the United States that raises foxes for their, I guess, I don't know why she does it, but she's got a few foxes that kind of live in her backyard, and they're kind of a pain in the ass because they act like cats, but they're a dog. I don't know. Ow. Freaking tooth. Oh. Anyways. Here's where Bernays goes wrong. Anytime someone has a utopian sort of, I guess, ideal or want or need, you need to look at them with a condescending eye, I guess. Yeah, my tooth hurts, but I'm too stupid to go anywhere. I think it's my the crown or whatever the fuck it is. So Bernays' vision was of a utopian society in which individuals' dangerous libidinal energies, the psychic and emotional energy associated with instinctual biological drives that Bernays viewed as inherently dangerous. Oh, he's a technocrat. You see, what? Or I could just drink, a couple of snorts of rum, which would probably be better. This is where I'm like, Bray seems pretty cool until I read that. I'm like, he's not cool. Because let me read that again. And what does that tell you about this person? About how he wants to mold and push society in a different way. His vision was of a utopian society in which individuals' dangerous libidinal and whatever the fuck energies, the psychic and emotional energy associated with instinctual biological drives that Bernays viewed as inherently dangerous, could be harnessed and channeled by a corporate elite for the economic benefit. There you go, folks. That's all you need to know how he felt about you. He was going to use you through a corporate entity so you could buy shit. Yeah, sexual energies. Oh my God. Yeah, that's where he loses me right there. Oh, look at this quote. Intelligent men must realize that propaganda is the modern instrument by which they can fight for productive ends and help bring order out of chaos. Huh. Who do you think that sounds like right now? I wonder. Propaganda was portrayed as the only alternative to chaos. And that's the thing. Propaganda isn't necessarily false. It could be true, but to whose truth is it? Think about that. Yeah. I mean, understand, Biden isn't really talking. He's being told what to say. Look, he's out of his goddamn mind. Oh, here we go. One way Bernays reconciled manipulation with liberalism was his claim that the human masses would inevitably succumb to manipulation. Oh, great, thank you, man. I'm glad you think so highly of me. And therefore the good propagandist could compete with the evil. Well, whose evil are you talking about there, knuckle nuts? Without incurring any marginal moral cost, in his view, the minority, which uses this power, is increasingly intelligent and works more and more on behalf of ideas that are socially constructive. Oh, this is so apropos for today. For today's world, at least. Oh, it's even worse. Unlike some other public relations practitioners, Bernays advocated centralization and planning. Oh, well, who says that? Oh, yeah. Socialists, fascists, and you guessed it, communists. Yes, boys and girls. We're being propagandized to think a certain way. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm a propagandist. Kind of doubt that. Oh, man. What a wacky world we live in. By the way, way, did you know soda pours out weird at 9,000 feet in altitude? Just saying. It always pours out like that. That's a fun fact that living at 9,000 feet. Bob? Thank you, Tim. You can hear it too. Oh man, going off the rails here. I told you this was gonna be random topics and anger. I said this wasn't gonna be specific, did I? Oh man. Yeah, but that's the thing is like I'm not forcing you to listen to me rant and rave. Last year, about August, I climbed Ilha Norte, which is it used to be one volcano a long time ago. Now it's two. There's Ilha Norte and Ilha Sur. So Ilha Norte, the very top is 17,000 feet ish. I climbed it all the way to the top. I'm telling you, even living at 9,000 feet and you go up to 17,000 feet, it's a little taxing on your lungs. My lungs are fucked. I have after I got out of the army, or actually during my retirement physical, I come to find out that I have 80% lung capacity. Yeah, I don't even smoke. I'm like, must be all those chemicals that are around me working on helicopters. Yes. And that's the thing is like you like the propaganda that you're accustomed to. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And honestly, I don't honestly think echo chambers are a bad thing because you want to associate yourselves with other people who think like you. Now, at the base level, that's not a bad thing. But if you let people talk you into do some illegal things, that's where being in an echo chamber is not a good thing to do. Matter of fact, I'll show you what Ilha Norte looks like. Ilha Norte. Yeah, I climbed. Let's see. That one right there. So I climbed all the way to the top to this part here. This is the south part. This one's a little higher. And then I walked down this part right here. This part right here. So this part right here is all sand. All sand. And the parking lot is like down here. So you come all the way to the top, then you walk all the way down to like right there. Now, I know what you're thinking, boys and girls out there, men and women. That's not very tall. No, it is. You see this white stuff? That's not snow, boys and girls. That's a glacier. Was it freezing? Yes. Coming back down the mountain, there was so much wind coming up that half my face was frozen and my GoPro froze up. I need to put that on. I did the last hour and a half climb all the way to the top. I should put that out on my channel. But it's just me going, me breathing hard. It was fun. I was going to climb another one that the mountain next to it is exploding right now here in Ecuador. I say exploding, but it was more like, shooting ash to the coast. I was going to do it, but then I had some elective surgery done. I had my wife remove my ass. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Where is that? Let's see. I can show you the other one I climbed. Pichincha. Volcano. So this one is right outside my window in my house. And if you were to walk there, it'd take 5 miles to walk to the base of this. And to start your climb is at 13,000 feet. So this one sits about 15,400-ish. It's about 6 mile walk there and a 6 mile walk back to the Teleferico, which is the cable car. There's no glacier on this, but the weather change is pretty good. But it's not crazy. People can do it in a day. It's not a big deal. This last part right here is kind of a bitch. White people in there. Mountain climbing. Yeah, I think Pichincha, that's a Incan word or a Quechua word. I think it's a Quechua word. I think. So I'll tell you the one I failed to climb. This one is near me-ish. I failed to climb this one here. Cayambe. You see that big white area? You guessed it, folks. Another glacier. And to climb that all the way to the top, you guessed it, you need crampons. Yeah, I failed that miserably. I got like up to like right here, and my knees couldn't handle it. I failed, man. Couldn't handle it. I climbed this other one. Cotacachi Volcano. I climbed this one. Not all the way to the top because we needed gear, but I climbed to like right there ish. All right, Mr. Falcon, I'll see you on the flip side. There's that one. That wasn't fun. Especially coming back down. You see, when you get bad knees, going up mountains is fine, but coming down, not so cool. Did that one. Altar. I did this one here. To get out to this lake that's on to get out to this lake, you have to walk 12 kilometers one way with rubber boots because the road, the path. It's not a road. It's a path. It's muddy. And getting up here is freaking awesome. You get up there and it's amazing. But getting there is a complete pain in the balls. They call it El Altar is because they think this is the bishop. These are the nuns. These little. Fun fact about this mountain. So in 1490, this used to be like up to here, but it blew the hell up. And so the backside of this valley is a whole valley that was carved out by an explosion. It's pretty cool. Again, I'm gonna have to put pictures of it, but yeah, the obispo is the bishop, the great nun, Moña Grande, Moña Chica, Tabernaculo, the Eastern Friar, the Devout Friar, Central Friar, blah 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 blah. Pretty cool though. Climbing mountains here in Ecuador is pretty cool because you don't really need a guide. I mean, it's helpful if you have one, but anyways. And that right there, boys and girls, is about 2 hours. I need to lock it up here, but my wife right now is in Florida until Sunday, so I'll probably be doing this every night. So catch me here every night around 7-ish or whenever I feel like to go live. And I'll probably go live earlier than that, depending on if the house cleaner, she has the volcano on. She has the vacuum on or not. But hey, thanks for listening to me rant and rave and talk about random crap that makes no sense. And let me help you propagandize your life, I guess. That's not funny. Okay, boys and girls, that's it. If you want to donate, cool. If you don't, please throw a like, throw a comment, and kill them all. No, don't do that. Be peaceful. See you guys later.